Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level social studies lesson, and today we're going to be talking about what is social studies. So in many US states, social studies is one of the core areas of study along with English, science, and math. So what is social studies? See if you could define it in your own words, and what kinds of things do students study in social studies? So, elements of social studies. Social studies covers different fields related to human society. So, 6 areas commonly studied in social studies are listed below. So, history, culture, politics, geography, economics, and sociology. And see if you can explain in your own words what each of these areas are about. So you're going to read about 6 different social studies fields, and so match the words from the reading to the definitions. You can take a few moments, look at these definitions and the words, see if you can match them, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. All right, so number 1 is letter I. Resources are the things that people or countries use, like money or tools, to do or make the things that we need or want. You can use different colors. This is quite a lot of information. Election is J. The way people choose their leaders to make important decisions, like voting for president. Political party is C, a group of people with similar ideas about government. Society is letter A, all the people living together in a community or country. Urbanization is H, the process of people moving from cities to the countryside, to cities from the countryside, sorry, had that backwards. Consumption is D, the act of using food, energy, or materials. Develop is G, to grow or change over time. Behavior is E, what people do and how. Culture is F, a way of life for a group of people. And custom is B, a traditional way of doing something that a group of people has done for a long time. All right, fields of social studies. So match the fields of social studies to the descriptions. Again, you can pause the video and try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so number 1, politics is the study of how power and resources are used in a society and how decisions are made about government. It includes topics like elections, political parties, and the role of government in society. Geography is the study of the Earth and its physical features, such as mountains, rivers, and climate. It also includes the study of human activities on the Earth's surface, such as land use and urbanization. Number 3, economics is the study of how people and societies manage resources such as money, goods, and services. It includes topics like production, consumption, and distribution of goods and services, as well as financial systems and markets. Culture refers to the shared beliefs, values, and customs of a group of people. It can include things like language, art, music, religion, and food. Learning about different cultures helps us to better understand one another. And sociology is the study of how people act when they are with other people. It also looks at how things like race, gender, and class can affect our behavior and opportunities in life. Finally, history is the study of past events, people, and cultures. It helps us understand how societies have developed over time and why things are the way they are today. So, we're going to read the facts about the US and decide which social studies field they are most related to and explain your choices. So, the United States is bordered by two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, and has many important coastal cities and ports. Well, that would be related to geography. The country produces many different goods and services, including automobiles, technology, and financial services. That would be economics. The American Revolution happened from 1765 to 1783. As a result, the 13 British colonies in North America became independent from Great Britain and formed a new country called the United States of America. That is history. And despite some progress, gender inequality is still an issue in American society. Women often still experience discrimination at work and other areas of life. That would be sociology. The United States has a federal system of government. The federal government has some powers, and the 50 states have some powers. That would be politics. And people around the world enjoy forms of American entertainment, such as Hollywood movies and rock music. That is culture. All right, the present simple. The present simple tense is used to talk about things that are generally true or happen repeatedly. We often use it when discussing facts in social studies. To use the present simple, we add s or es to the base form of the verb for the third person singular objects he, she, and it, but not for the other subjects I, you, we, and they. The country produces many foods because country would be an it. People around the world enjoy forms of American entertainment. So people is plural, they. The US has a federal system of government. Again, the US is an it, so we use the S form. So some verbs like have and be follow different structures. To form a negative sentence in the present simple, we use do not or don't or does not or doesn't plus the base form of the verb. The United States doesn't have an official language, but English is the most commonly spoken language. So, an important part of social studies is asking questions to find out more information. So, we want to match the questions to the field that they are most related to. So, what countries does climate change affect the most? Well, that would be, oops, wait, I want to do that. Sorry. So, climate change would be related to geography. I want a different color here. Right? What continent is Brazil located on? That would also be geography. How do family and education influence young children? That would probably be sociology. How are governments different around the world? Politics. When did World War II end? That is history. And how do taxes and government spending impact economic growth? That would be economics. Forming questions. Questions in English are formed by switching the order of the subject and the auxiliary verb or the modal verb in a statement. If there is no auxiliary or modal verb in the statement, a form of the auxiliary verb do is used to form the question. So here we have the US uses the US uses the US dollar, and to make that into a question, we would say, does the US use the US dollar? World War II ended in 1945. Did World War II end in 1945? And if there is no auxiliary or modal verb in the statement, a form of the auxiliary verb do is used to form the question. So the US uses the US dollar. So the question form could also be, what currency does the US use? World War II ended in 1945. When did World War II end? All right, so how much do you know about the United States? You can answer the quiz questions. So, what is the name of the two countries that share a border with the United States? Well, that could be Canada to the north and Mexico to the south. Be smaller in case I run out of room. Number two, what is the capital of the United States? That would be Washington, D.C. How many branches of government does the United States have? Well, we have the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. So there are three branches of government. Who was the first president of the United States? George Washington. What is the currency used in the United States? US dollar. And can you name 3 US states? So there are 50 altogether. I won't name all 50, but any 3 that you can name. And what language do most people speak in the US after English? After English, probably Spanish would be the second most spoken language. Um, and then you can make some of your own questions to figure out more information, either about the United States or about your own country. So, why is social studies important? Read the opinions. Do you agree? And what other reasons are there for studying social studies? So, Andres says social studies helps us develop problem solving skills. When we think about historical events or political systems, we learn how to evaluate information. This is important for success in school and also for finding a good job. Miriam says, social studies teaches us about the world around us. By learning about these things, we can better understand how things work and how we can make positive changes. All right. We're going to read Lucas's description of a country, and then we're going to answer the questions. So this country is located in South America. It is the largest country in the region. Indigenous people lived there before the European explorers arrived in the 1500s. It is the home of the Amazon rainforest, which is the largest tropical rainforest in the world. This country is the largest economy in South America. It is famous for its exports of coffee. The government of this country is a federal presidential republic, but in the past it had a king. The country has a 7,000-kilometer coastline with beautiful beaches. The country has a mix of many cultures with indigenous roots, as well as Portuguese, African, and other immigrant populations. Its music, food, and dance are famous worldwide. So, what country is Lucas describing? Well, he's describing Brazil. And identify information in the text about each social studies field. Oops. Back. So, located in South America is geography. And then European explorers arriving in the 1500s would be history. Here we have economics, politics, the federal government, but in the past it had a king. That's history. And culture is talking about the immigrant populations, the music, dance, and food. All right, so you're going to create a social studies description of another country. So you could choose your own country, and you can use this to make some notes. So talk about the country's name, its history, geography, culture, economics, politics, and sociology. And this is more of an activity for a class discussion, so you won't be able to do this on your own, but you could practice writing the description. And if you would like some feedback on that, you can send that to me. All right, so just some review. Think about what is social studies, what are some social studies fields, and give some examples, and why is social studies important. That brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, please leave those for me in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.